We are Tottenham TV, back here for another update. A big bomber to bring to you today regarding Eberechi Eze. And as you can see, Sim is finally smiling.
Come on!
Today. He's finally smiling. We got the smile back on his face. And look, we'll take it step by step regarding Eberechi Eze, because there was quite a few updates. It all started off yesterday. I think we might have been online or we might have just gone offline, but Eberechi Eze did delete all Crystal Palace names from his bio on Instagram. And then we thought, what the hell is happening here? Is something unraveling? David Ornstein this morning says that Tottenham talks with Crystal Palace over Eberechi Eze deal ongoing. Tottenham pursuing agreement as Crystal Palace continue to search for a replacement. Tottenham Hotspur find themselves in a one-horse race for Eze while no agreement was reached after further talks on Monday. Conversations continue and there remains a good chance that the move will happen. Matt Law says that Tottenham are edging their way towards clinching the signing of Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace in a deal which is expected to be finalised under £60 million. And Fabrizio Romano just gave us a pretty much standard update, which actually came after the big Paul O'Keefe bomber, which states Tottenham have finally reached a verbal agreement with Crystal Palace over the signing of Eberechi Eze. No mention of the fee or the structure or anything like that, but an agreement has been reached for Eze, and I'm sure that delights a lot of people out there.
Well, Ben Jacobs says it's around 60 million. He says
60 million.
He said there's agreement for 60 million pounds, which for me represents unbelievable value. I think it's such a great deal. We've obviously been ready, waiting in anticipation for an agreement to be reached. We're waiting, obviously, for Crystal Palace. We're waiting for Crystal Palace to find a replacement and everything to fall into place so we can start to get really excited about this deal. It seems as though we finally hit that moment. The agreement has been reached. I think we're probably moments away from getting a here we go from Romano. We're probably not far away from getting a full agreement tweet from David Ornstein. It seems as though this is finally coming to a head and coming to a conclusion, and Eze will be a Tottenham player. And the very exciting thing is it could well be in time for Man City on the weekend, which would be fantastic news because he's going to be absolutely needed for that game. But what a signing. What a signing this is going to be for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I've always thought this deal was going to go through. I've been pretty confident about it for the last couple of weeks. But when you hear full agreement has been reached between Tottenham and Crystal Palace, it just brings even more excitement inside into the feelings. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see him get going. I can't wait to see him holding up that shirt. I can't wait for the announcement. I mean, this is a massive signing, people. It really is a massive signing. And, you know, a month ago, you never thought this was possible. After signing Mohamed Kudus and getting Palhinha over the line, it looked like Arsenal were all set to go and sign Eberechi Eze. All the reliable journalists were saying, yeah, Arsenal in negotiations, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. And I'm telling you now, Arsenal fans reading all these updates coming through, when he's finally holding up their shirt, there is going to be a meltdown in that fan base. And I am going to be here for it. I cannot wait for that as well. So just exciting things to come our way all round.
Yeah, what do you think this transfer represents for me? Like, one of the best players in the Premier League coming to Tottenham Hotspur when he was, for me, I know Ornstein's saying we're in a one-horse race, but for many years he's been much sought after by many, many clubs. And I, for one, I'm just, you know, at the beginning of the window, if you would have told me we were going to be signing Eze, I would have been absolutely over the moon. So the fact we're going to be getting our man, getting him over the line is phenomenal. For you, where does he rank when it comes to number 10s in the Premier League?
Ooh, up there for sure. Definitely up there. Who are the best number 10s in the Premier League?
You got Bruno, you got Odegaard.
I mean, in terms of like current form, there's definitely a case to say he's in like the top 3. Like seriously, like, on current form. Like, because like Odegaard, I would consider him up there, but he's had a stinker for a while now. Like he's massively off form. So right now he's ahead of Odegaard. Yeah, I mean, look. Wirtz hasn't done it in the Premier League yet, as much as like he's an unbelievable player, and in the Bundesliga and for the German national side, he's done crazy things. And don't get me wrong, he's an unbelievable player. But right here, right now, Prem proven, Eze's ahead of him.
Every time we've been linked with Eze, it's usually it always comes with the caveat, yeah, but Man City are interested, yeah, but Arsenal are interested, and it always felt like a deal that was a bit too out of our reach.
Yeah, but at the same time as well, it always felt like a deal which was going to happen. Like when you cast your mind back to the last 2 seasons when he's come to Tottenham, it's always felt like there's been something there. There's been some energy there that, Eze...
Meant to be.
He's been like wined and dined in boxes, obviously CAA bases with them, and he's been wined and dined in boxes with his family and everything like that at Tottenham for the last couple of years. It feels like Tottenham have been doing the groundwork for this for quite some time. And there was obviously that clip, wasn't there, when he was signing some autographs at the stadium and someone shouted out to him saying, "Are you coming to Spurs?" And he just looked up with a massive grin and then just looked back down. And everyone took that as basically a here we go. But yeah, it does feel like Spurs have been trying to do the groundwork on this for a long time.
100%. I think we've been, seducing him for a while. It feels like that's some of the terms the foreign journalists use. But it seems as though we've been trying and putting the feelers out for a long time with this one. And it seems after a long time. But, if we did get that Gibbs White over the line, would this be happening?
Nah, I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Albeit, this one seems to have happened on the back of the Maddison injury. But with Gibbs White falling through, you would have expected Spurs to go in for another attacking midfielder as well. So, I don't think this does go through if we got Gibbs White.
Is it a blessing in disguise that Gibbs White didn't go through?
I think so. For me, I do think Eze is ahead of Gibbs White. I think potentially Gibbs White in terms of profile was something that we need a bit more with his, what he's shown in terms of, like, look at that pass that he did for that assist in the game on the weekend. I haven't seen Eze do something like that. But you never know. He might have it in his locker. But I think what it represents, right, is a player, one of the best in the Premier League, coming here in his absolute prime. He's not at the beginning of his career where he's got something to prove. He's not at the end of his career kind of washed up and everything like that, which we have signed both kind of calibers in the past. We're signing a player in the Premier League who's been much sought after by top clubs in the Premier League, and he's at the peak of his powers right now. He's at the top of his game, and he's in the prime of his career. So I think it's massive for the football club. And it's actually a mouth-watering prospect, not just for this season, but for the future season as well. Like, imagine when Maddison comes back, and you've got Maddison, you've got Decky, you've got Eze. Unbelievable kind of a roster of attacking midfielders at the club. Now, this season, it's going to be mainly solely relying on Eze for the creative in terms of the middle of the park. But when you're looking at the prospect of next season, wow.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And I know he's like 27 at the moment, but he's in the prime of his career. He's going to have many years ahead of him. Obviously, it's a World Cup year as well, so even more motivation for him to be on top of his game. I think Eze's ready for this move as well. He has been fantastic for Crystal Palace for many, many years. I think he's been getting better pretty much every year. Last year was a weird one. I thought
it started slow.
Yeah, for the first few months. I don't think he really kicked into gear until like February time. But once he did, he was fantastic. Those last few months last season, he was probably one of the best players in the league.
Yeah. And that was probably like the best kind of patch of his career as well.
Yeah, potentially. I think it's been up there. I think for me, when he was linking up with Olise, I think that's the best I've seen with him. Him, Olise, Mateta, that front three, that was absolutely phenomenal. I think I was when Glasner first came. They had that little period. They were absolutely amazing together. So he's been so good. Even under Roy Hodgson, when they had Zaha together as well there, like, he has been stepping up for a team. I mean, before Glasner came in, who was very much a counter-attacking team, defence first, and he's had to shoulder a lot of that burden. So I would love to see what he's like with that burden kind of lifted from him a bit. He's gotten those better players around him. He's maybe got a bit more, not everything goes through him. He's got better players to play off, and how he kind of reacts to that. That's going to be really, really interesting, and I'm so excited to see how he steps up and going from being the main man at Palace to coming to Tottenham Hotspur, where he's got the likes of Kudus with him, and he's got good strikers with him, and he's got World Cup winners in centre back and all these different things. I think he's going to absolutely thrive. He's going to absolutely love it here, and I think Frank's going to know how to use him as well. I think in that number 10 role, he's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be interesting because usually he plays at number 10, but he plays kind of this number 10 that likes to go off to the left and kind of cut inside and use that kind of, operates very much on the left-hand side, even though he's in the 10. So now moving to Tottenham and double pivot, where he's going to be a lot more central, he's going to have that freedom to move right, to move left. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to that as well. But I think, given his qualities, he should be very suited to it.
Yeah.
And he's going to have, to be honest, when you think about it anyway, the way we play with our wingers, with Kudus, like, is a bit more narrow, tucked in, and then maybe the guy on the left is maybe a bit wider. That will suit him as well. If he favours that little left-hand pocket, having that kind of the way we play will really suit him anyway.
Yeah, completely agree. It's just such an exciting signing. Look, we can't stop here. We still need to bring in more, in my opinion. Not much time to do it in, about 11 days, 12 days left of the window to go. So still work to be done. But this, as a signing to move forward with, to whet our appetites, him, Kudus through the door, Palhinha through the door. This is the exact quality that Spurs have needed to add to the squad in such a long time. We've done bringing in the young talents that are going to be here for many years and got high potential. But I'm so happy that Spurs are finally bringing in proven quality now. Proven actual quality that have got Premier League experience as well. Like, when's the last time that we've brought in like 3 players of proven quality of this caliber? I can't remember the last time. Like, I really can't. Of Premier League experience as well.
Yeah, in one window, I don't think we ever have, to be honest. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think we signed, what was that summer? We signed Dele. Well, he wasn't Prem proven. Toby was. Toby, Dele and Son. But again, Dele and Son weren't Prem proven in that summer. That summer under Ange, we signed a lot of players, but only really Maddison, you can say, was Prem proven. So it's not, it's very rare. We've never done this. And clearly there's been a massive change in a bit of a change in our transfer philosophy from especially last season, where it was very much signing 18-year-olds and hoping that they adapt very quickly, and that obviously massively backfired last summer. And I think we realised our mistake, and it looks like this summer we're looking to correct that, add a lot more Prem experience, a lot more players in their prime ready now. And not only will that help the team when it comes to the quality, but it's also going to help those younger players, giving them more time to develop. And maybe in a few years, if when Eze's 30, what if I was going to be like 22, and then maybe he'll be ready to step in at that point, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's how you do squad planning, not just relying on these really young players to smash out of the park immediately and get you competing for Europe, but actually getting them learning off the more experienced players.
Yeah.
And how do you rank 60 million for him? I mean, that price, first of all, deserves a lot of credit for getting that price. If that's the accurate fee they're talking about, everyone was saying pay the release clause, all that, and we're going to get him, it seems as though, for about 60 million or 55 plus 5 million add-ons, which is a good deal. How does that rank when it comes to everyone's summer business, that kind of price? Obviously, you got Cunha going for similar, Kudus went for 55. Mbeumo went for, 65? So where does that rank? How good of a price is that for you?
It's an extremely good price. You've got the English tax in there as well, because English players usually go for a lot more. And to get Eberechi Eze, who is an England international, Palace's best player, who, a very good side, Crystal Palace, we've seen what he's capable of in the Premier League year in, year out. I think it's an incredible price. And obviously, you've got the contract situation. You had the release clause in there as well. The release clause did end up expiring. So I think that it was an opportunistic signing as well, because if we wouldn't have signed him now, someone else would have come in eventually, in my opinion. I think Arsenal would have made some sales. They probably would have come in at the final hour. And it's unique to get a player of this caliber, English player, for this kind of money. Like, you don't really see it that often. Obviously, Cunha and Mbeumo, they're not English, and they had their own situation surrounding those transfers as well. But yeah, look, Crystal Palace needed to sell at the end of the day. That's why it's an opportunistic signing, because he wasn't signing a contract. They were going to get much less next summer if they would have kept him. So yeah, it's once again Spurs kind of waiting for their moment, waiting for an opportunity in the market and striking to get a cheaper fee like they did with Kudus.
Yeah.
Because Kudus was also great value for money, in my opinion. Was it 55 million we got him for? And he had a release clause of 85. West Ham were desperate for money. We took advantage of that and we got him over the line. So, yeah, it's still rare that Spurs will just go and go all out for a player and overpay for a player. We like to underpay for players. And I think the two players that we have underpaid for this summer, in my opinion, Eze and Kudus, is massive value for money.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, considering you're looking at players like Omari Hutchinson going for nearly 40 million.
Yeah.
And you think Eze isn't only going for about 15 million more than that when he's probably 4 times the player. Is crazy, isn't it?
Rasmus Højlund went for 75 a couple of years back.
That, you know, it's crazy. So, you know, the value, I think the value for money is phenomenal. I just saw a tweet. Who was it from? I can't remember who it was from, but they said, is Eze the highest profile signing since Van der Vaart?
Ooh. You know what? He probably is. I mean, is he as high profile as a James Maddison? Because James Maddison, when we signed him, he was also banging the England squad at the time. Mm-hmm. He did just get relegated, which was, different. But, FA Cup winner, like Eberechi, Eze also an FA Cup winner. So I think Maddison and Eze, in terms of profile, were probably quite similar when we signed them both.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. I would say, I'll probably slightly go with Eze, just ahead of Anderson. I think he's slightly higher profile just because...
It's in the same ballpark,
yeah,
isn't it?
I think he was... The clubs that were thinking about signing him were a bit bigger. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a similar ballpark. He's not a European star
this is going to be his first year in the Champions League.
Exactly. So
as it would be for Maddison.
Yeah. So I think... I think it's the biggest one since Van der Vaart? Yeah, maybe apart from Maddison, I can't think of too many others that reach his kind of profile, his being in his peak as well when signing him. I can't think of too many others that match that. So I think it's just super, super exciting. And to think of how he's going to fit in the team and the link-ups he's going to have with the players, I can't wait to get him in a Tottenham shirt. I really can't. I can't wait to get him linking up with the players we have, because I think it's going to be a match made in heaven. I really do.
Yeah, you're looking at the prospect of having, the likes of Mohamed Kudus, the likes of Eberechi, Eze, Richarlison, the way he's playing at this moment in time, all in the same team. Such good ball carriers. Unbelievable ball carriers when you look at Kudus and Eze. Now we just need to finish the jigsaw of the attacking talent, bringing one more that can play off the left. And I think that we're ready to go for the season in terms of from an offensive capability. We've all seen so far in pre-season, even in the Burnley game at times, where it's hard for us to progress the ball up the pitch. It's hard for us to, continuously make chances from open play. Don't get me wrong, we did against Burnley, but, bigger tests yet to come against much better teams. So, yeah, I think he's going to go some way to really help rectify that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's just going to add that little bit of magic and quality, which has clearly been missing ever since we can see since Frank's taken over in our football. We're missing that little bit of something in the middle, someone to take on the half turn, someone to just do something to... I mean, we had it with Kudus a bit against Burnley, but you can see in our build-up, in our general play, there's definitely some quality missing in that central area.
Just a bit of magic,
the ball.
yeah.
And I think he's going to have that in abundance.
Yeah.
I really do. And set pieces, is he on set pieces, do you think, now?
For sure, he's our free kick taker. He's a brilliant free kick taker. I remember being there when he knocked one in at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah.
A free kick. This guy has got supreme quality from set pieces. Does he take Palace's corners as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, yeah, he's definitely going to be on set pieces. It would be great to see a free kick taker that can get one in regularly for us as well, because we haven't had that probably since Bale that can actually score a free kick of regularity. So, look, big news. Paul O'Keefe claims that Tottenham and Crystal Palace have reached a verbal agreement for Eberechi Eze. Still not signed, sealed and delivered as of yet. We still haven't got the here we go. And then from there, the dominoes will fall. You get the club announcement and everything like that. So I'm sure that will all happen in the next 24 to 48 hours, hopefully before Thursday, so we can name him in the squad for the Man City game. I think you need to be registered by what, like midday Friday or something?
Midday Friday, yeah.
Yeah, to be registered in the game for the weekend. So if we are able to name him in the squad for the weekend against Man City, mate, I am just the mouth-watering prospect of going to Manchester City with a 3-4-3. Oh my days. Seriously.
Imagine Kudus Eze in transition will kill them.
Kudus, Eze and Richarlison up top.
Will kill him.
Mate, that would be incredible. That really would be incredible. And like a Palini Sarr in the middle, or a Bentancur Sarr, or a Bentancur Palini, whichever way you want to go, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, even Bergvall, like, we've got so many options now all over the pitch. It's just there's 1 or 2 signings now from now to the end of the window, and we can dream of big things this season.
Absolutely.
So that is the Eze situation. Now,